Well, I grew up in Australia, so different culture. There's an attitude in Australia that you give everyone a fair go. And that's highly held, closely held across the population. The other thing to know about the Australian experience is the education system is really good. So people mostly do get a fair go. And it's well supported, it's well paid for, and creates a relatively equal population. So it's not just the taxes, it's really the start that people get. So I came over to the US, just transferred by a company I was working for, and I got entrepreneurial. So I've built 6 companies in my career, mostly associated with software in one way or another. The most recent one was a software security company. So I had about 1,000 hackers. And so we would take people's systems apart and then show them how to do it the right way. So, the major banks or the major tech companies were all of our clients. Sold that company in 2016, finally, and was trying to figure out what to do next. In 2015, we bought a place in Cambridge, in the Neck District, and we just loved the water and the environment, plus the place has an airstrip and I fly, so I could fly into the backyard, which was, we were really looking for a commitment to a community in our later life that we would participate in. We really went out of our way to make friends here. And what became apparent really quickly is just how poor the school system was. You see poverty when you drive down Washington Street in a kind of dramatic way. So it's right there in front of you. And it's not at all clear how it was going to change. So we kind of looked at each other. Our children are all started their jobs and careers at this point. They're well on their way. And what we concluded was that we needed to support all the kids who couldn't do that. And if we could figure out some new ways to do that, that would really make a difference, we wanted to be involved in that. So we decided to do it in 3 jurisdictions, in Fairfax, in Winchester City, in Virginia, and Dorchester County. I've personally been much more engaged in Dorchester because I spend so much time here. So we're able to put significant time and effort into, trying to change the trajectory. The essence of strategy within any company is figuring out what you're not going to do. If you're going to attack from the left, you're not going to attack from the right because, you'll disperse your effort. My attitude in each case is to pick just a few things that we think will make the biggest difference and focus on the execution of those and then see what we learn. The other thing that we've done in each case is to try and create early successes so that we can build momentum and credibility in the community and confidence that you can make positive change. So in any kind of change management problem, that's the really big thing, right? Is creating that momentum and confidence that things can get better. And if you keep doing more of these things, it works. So there are 3 fundamental thrusts that we could take in working to improve the educational outcomes here. We could focus on middle and high school through work and get more kids into productive work. We could improve the support outside school time in general. And so make sure that kids don't fall off the wagon through the process. Or we could start with early childhood, but we couldn't do all 3 at once. So we started to focus on primarily early childhood with support through middle school to at least give kids a really good chance to make it into high school. Early childhood had by far the biggest bang in terms of impact. And frankly, it's the least well served. The quality is really mixed in terms of kindergarten readiness. So if we could improve the quality and if we could improve the take-up in pre-K, then we could significantly improve the kids' chances in elementary school, kindergarten. We wanted to see whether we could test getting the parents more engaged and involved in their child's education by actually setting up a process whereby they were more involved. And secondly, by moving pre-K to include 3-year-olds. Here, we decided to fund a pre-K 3 class, and we're ecstatic to learn that Dorchester Public Schools is going to do, there was one in Cambridge, and it's been a huge success. Dorchester County Public Schools is going to do it in Hurlock and fund it themselves. So if we can get that working and get significant uptake in pre-K, that'll be a big improvement. I mean, if we can double the number of kids who are reading on grade level by 3rd grade in Dorchester, in 10 years, we will have made a huge difference to an awful lot of kids' lives. Yeah. It's those kinds of goals, I think, that will focus the mind of the community. And when I say we, I mean we as a community. The key, in my view, is getting the community aware of those numbers, aware of those goals, engaged in the programs to get more kids reading to their parents, to get more books in front of those kids, holding the school system accountable for their part in all of this, increasing the capacity and quality of outside school time, whether it be summer or from when school finishes until after dinner. All of those activities surround the kids and lift them up. But the key metrics really are the kindergarten readiness scores, the number of kids who are doing pre-K, the number of kids who are reading on 3rd grade, on grade level in 3rd grade, but that's going to take a while to materialise. There are the attendance scores. And in terms of inputs, it's the number of kids who are participating in outside school time activities. So we've increased the capacity so far within Dorchester County by about 20 to 30% already by bringing the Boys and Girls Club here. And also increasing the professionalisation and coordination of many of the non-profits who are already here. Our objective would be to multiply that capacity by 2 or 3 over what it is now. I don't feel the progress yet, except in that pre-K 3 program, which is just heartwarming.